right. Hey, Tawab Yuam, Shalom, Shalom. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Tawab Yuam. Hey, first and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, which it means he to be or he exists. Bahashem means in the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the only begotten Son, who people ignorantly, unwittingly, unknowingly refer to as Jesus the Christ. As you can see, the names are right here. At the top is Yahweh. This is in the Paleo Hebrew. At the bottom is Yahweh Shai, which means he to deliver or he to savior, because according to his namesake, he's going to return very soon and deliver his people, the remnant of his people, which consists of us so-called black and indigenous peoples here in the Western Hemisphere. Now, we understand that we're also dispersed throughout the four winds of heaven, throughout the four corners of the earth, but for the most part, that's what we're being classified as. So this is another volume of Sunrise Spiritual Speaking. This is the 1067 volume. And I want to speak about the elect, because that's really who the Heavenly Father and his Son is dealing with. The Heavenly Father and his Son, they're dealing with the remnant. They're dealing with the elect at this particular moment in time. And that's who we endure all things for, pursuant to the book of 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter. And I'm going to go ahead and start there. Oh, man, I keep going on airplane mode. It's a lot. Bear with me 1 second. Just bear with me. All right, good. I should be good now. Yep, hey, the Wadiyah Bashmi al-Shah. So this is the book of 2 Timothy. Yep, this is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 10. Yep. And it reads, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, right? So that's who this is all about. That's who the Heavenly Father and his Son is dealing with. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation, which is in Mashiach Yahushai with eternal glory. That's right. So we go through all these things for the elect's sake, first and foremost ourselves, because we are commanded to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, because our expectation is that, first and foremost, we're of the remnant, we're of the elect. And our hope is that the brothers that we're joined unto through the Spirit, they're of the elect as well. It's the book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's right. So we endure all things for the elect's sake, starting with ourselves, because us that are laboring, those of us that are believing, showing our faith by our works, we should be laboring with the expectation to be rewarded, because we know, let me grab this, in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, we understand that the Heavenly Father is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. So that's really the mindset we're supposed to have. Doing this laboring, we're supposed to expect salvation. And there's nothing wrong with having that thought process. Certain men would classify that as being proud, but that's the furthest thing from the truth. That's really you being faithful. All right, this is the book of Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. Right. So if we don't have faith, we can't please the Heavenly Father. For he that cometh to the Heavenly Father must believe that he is, right, and that's what his name means. He to be or he exists, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You see that? So those of us that are diligently seeking the Heavenly Father and his Son, he's going to reward us with a kingdom that passeth not away. And that's actually the Heavenly Father's intent. Because, let me grab this first in Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, because the Heavenly Father's thoughts concerning his people are thoughts of good. But because our people are unfaithful, now the Heavenly Father can't deal with them, because that's the only way in which you can please the Heavenly Father. Excuse me, this is the book of Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Adonai Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. That's right. So the Heavenly Father has thoughts of peace concerning his people, in particular the remnant, the elect. Right? Not on Ratazah, that's us. So now let me grab this in the book of Luke, the 12th chapter. Because the Heavenly Father's pleasure is to give us a kingdom that passeth not away. He's going to reward us with the kingdom, those of us that are diligently seeking him. Luke 12:32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You see that? So this is what the Heavenly Father wants to do. He wants to give us the kingdom. Yet we have to show our belief, our faith by our works. We have to diligently seek him in order to receive these good things that he has laid up for us. And I always use the analogy of a parent, and they want to give their sons or their daughters an allowance. They want to give money, yet there's stipulations for that. You got to do chores. Now, if you don't fulfill your obligation, well, your parent isn't going to give you that money. All right, it's the same thing with this ministry. As long as we continue to labor, like it says here in 1 Corinthians 9, verse 10, or say if he it altogether for our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that ploweth shall plow in hope, and he that thresheth in hope shall be partaker of his hope. You see that? So we're plowing because this is spiritual work. So we're plowing, and the expectation should be that we're going to be rewarded for our labor. Pursuant to the book of Hebrews 6 and 10. And I'm going to grab this from the brother Malak La'ab of the tribe of Judah. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, verse 10. And it reads, for the Heavenly Father is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. That's right. So what we're doing, like this lesson right here, is an example of a labor of love. This is work, spiritual work. This is work that we love to do. For the Heavenly Father is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed towards his name, and that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. That's right. So we have to always lay this to heart. Hey, that the Heavenly Father, he's going to reward those of us that are diligently seeking him. Let me grab this real quick in the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. That's right. So if you're accepted in the sight of the Heavenly Father and the Son, you're going to go through affliction. You're going to go through adversity, but that's only to make you stronger and stronger. Reading on, believe in him and he will help thee. You see that? So those of us that believe in the Heavenly Father, we're helped of the Heavenly Father. Believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear Ha'adawan, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest you fall. Ye that fear Ha'adawan, believe him and your reward shall not fail. That's right. So those of us that believe on Yahweh Yahushai, that fear Yahweh Yahushai, our reward isn't going to fail. So let me grab this from the brother Malak La'ab. Psalm chapter 2, verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. That's right. All we have to do is ask the Heavenly Father, and he's going to give us our heart's desire. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and grab that in the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter. And that's what's coming, man, our heart's desire. And we're close. We're close. And that's why all these things are manifesting in our personal lives. You know, people see the spirit that we're in. You know, and the Heavenly Father's putting the spirit on people to entreat us, you know. These are all tokens of what's going to happen in these last days. It's the book of Psalms 37, verse 3. Trust in Ha'adawan Yahweh and do good. So shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. That's right. So we're fed first and foremost spiritually. We're fed with the rivers of living, well, with the bread of life. You know, we're nourished with the rivers of living water. And because we're operating in the correct spirit, the Heavenly Father rewards us carnally as well. Right, 1 Peter 1, verse 8, whom having not seen you love, in whom though now you see him not, yet believing, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your souls, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. That's right, because at the conclusion of our stay here in Babylon the Great, you know, this captivity, we're looking to be delivered, caught up in those clouds, and reign with Hamashiach Yahushua forever. Now, since the brother put that precept, let me go to the book of St. John, the 20th chapter. Because those of us that are in this ministry, the Heavenly Father looks at us like favorably, real favorably, because that's a great show of faith. And I'm going to grab this precept here in St. John, the 20th chapter, concerning what Hamashiach told Thomas. It's the book of St. John, chapter 20, verse 29. And Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. You see that? So even though we haven't seen Hamashiach in this flesh, in this incarnation, we still believe. And that's what makes us blessed. Which is why the Heavenly Father is going to give us this glorious kingdom that passeth not away. Because what's faith? Pursuant to Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You see that? So Thomas, despite the fact that he's one of the 12, you know, he lacked faith. So Yahushua told Thomas, hey, you see me, that's why you believe. Blessed are they that don't see and yet believe. And that's us, man. That's us. We believe through faith, and the Heavenly Father has given us all types of quote unquote evidence after the number one evidence, which is the faith that we have. Let me grab this from the brother Enos, the mystery man. Zechariah 8 and 23. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. So book of Zechariah chapter 8. Yep, the verse 23. Thus saith Adonai Yahweh of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that the Heavenly Father is with you. Right, and that's what's taking place right now. You have all these people, they're pertaining unto us because they see that the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is within us. All right, so now let me go back to Psalm 34th chapter, 37th chapter, forgive me, verse 3. Trust in Ha'adonai Yahweh and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in Ha'adonai Yahweh. That's right. So all we have to do is delight ourselves in the Heavenly Father and His Son. And He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. That's right. And our desire is coming in totality. Let me grab this real quick. Staying in the book of Psalms, I'm going to go to the 16th chapter. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 16, verse 11. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. That's right. So that's what us Akim wa Akwaf have to look forward to. Pleasures forevermore. The Heavenly Father is going to give us our desire. And it all starts with us desiring the Heavenly Father and His Son and their goodness. Reading this again in Psalm 37:4. Delight thyself also in Ha'adonai Yahweh, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. That's right. And it's coming soon. Hey, because me and the brothers, we were speaking, and I forget this phrase that I used. I don't know if the Zion will give it back to me, but it was just concerning us working for the Heavenly Father, and He works it out for us. I forget the exact phrase that I used, but that's what we see manifesting. All right, because the Heavenly Father has given us a diligent spirit, a fervent spirit. We've showed our faith by our works. Now the Heavenly Father is doing all these good things for us. All right, so delight thyself also in Ha'adonai Yahweh. Excuse me. And He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto Adonai Yahweh. Trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. That's right. So the Heavenly Father is going to bring everything that we want to pass. And this all starts with the remnant. It all starts with the elect. And ultimately, all of our people are going to have their desires fulfilled. But they're going to have to die first because they're in a rebellious, evil, contentious spirit. So the Heavenly Father can't accept them. But see, once they're born, then they come back on the earth through the loins of the remnant, the elect. They're going to be all righteous. All right. So this is the book of Psalm 68, verse 19. Blessed be Ha'adonai, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the power of our salvation. Salah. That's right. So the Heavenly Father is always loading us with benefits, and they're only going to increase. And just like any job, when you continue with the company, you get what? You get pay raises. Right, you get benefit packages. Well, it's the same thing in His ministry. And Esau, he does that, and he's wicked and evil as hell. How much more the Heavenly Father, who's a righteous power? Let me read this one more time. Blessed be Ha'adonai, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the power of our salvation. Selah, that's right. And we can never forget the benefits that the Heavenly Father has bestowed upon us. Like it says here in the book of 1 Samuel, the 12th chapter. Now, this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12. Verse 24, only fear Ha'adonai Yahweh and serve Him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things He hath done for you. That's right. So we're supposed to always be considerate of the great things that Yahweh have done for us. And when you acknowledge Him in all your ways, He what? He directs your steps. He's going to direct you to what? To salvation. He's going to direct you to even a better situation. And that's really the mindset we should all have. We're just going to get better. We're going to get stronger. Proverbs 3, verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. You see that? So the Heavenly Father, as long as we acknowledge Him, He's going to direct us. He's going to direct us to salvation. All right, so now, let me go at this in the book of Psalms, 103rd chapter. I'll start wrapping up. Now, unrighteous, I have safe passage back to California. Flight leaves in a few hours. Psalms 103, I'll start at the top. Bless Ha'adonai Yahweh, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name. That's right. So when we serve the Heavenly Father through His Son, we have to give our whole heart, our whole soul. All right. We can't be partial. We got to be fully invested. Let me grab this real quick. In the book of Sirach, the 43rd chapter, verse 27, I'll start at. We may speak much and yet come short. Wherefore in some He is all. All right. Speaking about our power. How shall we be able to magnify Him? For He is great above all His works. That's right. Ha'adonai is terrible and very great, and marvelous is His power. That's right. So we're all supposed to stand in awe of the Heavenly Father, and that's what He wants. Or He wants you to be starstruck, so to speak. And like brothers love when, we'll be out and women will like stare at us and be in awe and be starstruck. Hey, well, that's what the Heavenly Father is looking for from us. Psalms 33 verse 8. Let all the earth fear Ha'adawan Yahweh. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. That's right, because his works are beautiful. And we acknowledge the workmaster, not just the works. We acknowledge that there's a great power that did all these things and that does all these things. Ha'adawan is Ha'adawan is terrible and very great. And marvelous is his power, right? And the Heavenly Father, he's going to show his power more and more in these last days. When you glorify Ha'adawan, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will he far exceed. And that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true, man. He far exceeds. We give all our heart, all our soul. Yeah, it still doesn't give due justice. It still doesn't give the Heavenly Father justice, so to speak. Because he's so great. When you glorify Ha'adawan, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary. That's right. And the remnant, the elect, aren't going to, if there are brothers that do get weary, they're not going to remain weary. All right. Especially right now. And the remnant, the elect, aren't going to be faint-hearted in these last days. Khan, I just woke up to some much needed provisions this morning from the Heavenly Father. You see that? Beautiful. Hey, the Wadi Habashim Yal Shai. Hey, what else could you say but that, right? Put forth all your strength and be not weary, for you can never go far enough. That's right, we can never go far enough. All right, so now let me go back. So now let me go back to the book of Psalms 103 from the top. Bless Ha'adawan Yahweh, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless Ha'adawan Yahweh, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. That's right, so we can't forget the benefits of the Heavenly Father. Hey, and according to the second chapter, I'll probably end here through the Spirit. Hey, the benefit package is going to increase. All right, because in this time of famine, the remnant, the elect, are going to have an abundance. Pursuant to 2 Ezra 2, verse 25. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse. Establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish. For I will require them from among thy number. That's right, you got that 12,000 out of each tribe and those that pertain unto them. Be not weary. There you go. Not supposed to be weary. Not supposed to be faint. All right, because if you faint in the day of adversity, that means that your strength is small. Let me grab that real quick in the book of Proverbs, 24th chapter. Then I'll get some of the New Testament. I don't want Ratazah. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. That's right. And this word faint is rapah, which means what? To sink down, to abandon, right? You can't abandon. You can't abandon this ministry. You can't abandon Yahweh Yahushua, to show oneself slack, to be disheartened, right? So you can't be disheartened. We can't be disheartened. To relax, hey, you can't be on relax mode, man. Now is the time of work. All right, now is the time to work. Hey, the Heavenly Father and His Son is working, so guess what? Your ass need to be working as well. All right, so now let me grab this in the book of Luke, the 18th chapter. Let me see what the brother Malak Lab got. Yep, Isaiah 33 and 6. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of Ahadawan Yahweh is his treasure. That's right. So this is the treasure that we have, the fear of the Heavenly Father. The fear of the Heavenly Father, that's the root of wisdom. The fear of the Heavenly Father, that drives away sins. Because we know that sin leads to what? Death, pursuant to Romans 6 and 23. Right? So the Heavenly Father, He's really hooking us up mightily in these last days. This is the book of Luke 18, verse 1. And He spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint. You see that? Yeah, you can't faint. Now this word faint is ekakeo, which I mentioned this from time to time. When you look it up in the Strongs, it says by implication to fail in heart, to be faint, to be weary, to be weak, can't be weak, to be utterly spiritless, to be wearied out, exhausted, right? And that's these people. And you ask somebody how they doing, and they say I'm exhausted. And that's a bad sign, man. There's certain brothers that have said that. Oh man, I'm just exhausted. Hey, you want to pray to the Heavenly Father through the Son to take that spirit away from you, man. All right, we should be energetic. All right, the scriptures describe us as lively stones, pursuant to 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter. And if you feel yourself lacking that, hey, pray to the Heavenly Father through His Son to give you the strength to be courageous and to carry on. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry as we have received mercy, we faint not, right? We're not utterly spiritless. Why? Because we have a job to do. And upon completion of the job, we're going to get the ultimate reward, which is a everlasting kingdom, joint rulership with the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, Hamashiach Yahushua, right? Verse 16, for which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, which is the old man, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. That's right. And that's what you see in the Akim. They're waxing stronger and stronger. All right. So, yep. 2 Ezra 2 and 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary. Right. So we can't be faint. We can't be utterly spiritless. We can't be ekakeoed. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. That's right. So this is laid up for the remnant, the elect, the righteous. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Ha'adawan. That's right, because if the Heavenly Father before you, who could be against you? Real quick, I got to grab that. Romans 8. And I'm going to read down to verse 33 through the Spirit. We see what you bet, brother God. Connor, when other brothers pray for each other, that keeps us strong too through Yahweh Shem Shai. That's right. Hey, the prayers help to strengthen that bond, that relationship that we have with the Heavenly Father and His Son. That's why I said for this. Let me read it again. Luke the 18th chapter. I don't want to fumble it. Luke 18. I'm gonna read this one more time from the top. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint. That's right, because these prayers help to keep that connection strong. Yep, beautiful. Brother Yawanathan, Shalom Alat, Yabashim Hashem Kata. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23. Let us hold fast to 22. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, right? We have to be fully persuaded in our own minds, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise. That's right. And we understand that he's faithful. And we see it. We see how great our power is, how he's rewarding us. Romans 8 and 31. What shall we then say to these things? If the Heavenly Father be for us, who can be against us? And that's a rhetorical question. The answer is not one soul. He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? That's right. And that's the point. We're going to be freely given all things. Matter of fact, let me grab this real quick in Revelation, the 21st chapter. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. You see that? See how beautiful that is? Let me grab this from the brother Proverbs 6 and 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. That's right. And it goes on to explain the ants, they just click up and they get what they need to get. Because they're what? They're industrious. So how much more us, man, which has been established as the rulers over creation, in particular the Israelite man. Verse 33. Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Heavenly Father's elect? It is the Heavenly Father that justified. You see that? So all of us that are counted worthy of salvation, that are of the ring of the elect, it's the Heavenly Father that's justifying us. So that's why can't nobody be against us. All right, reading back in 2 Ezra, the 2nd chapter, verse 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Adawan. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. That's right. So we're covered by the blood of a Mashiach. So in this time of Jacob's trouble, we should be expecting salvation. That should be our hope. Revelation 3 and 10, I'll go ahead and end here. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That's right. So the Heavenly Father is going to keep us. Or he's going to keep us protected. He's going to increase these benefits through the Spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and end here through the Spirit. I pray that the lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. And I once again want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahushua, the Wadiyah Ba'ashem Yahushua, Kayaha, Rakakodash, the Holy Spirit which moved me, compelled me to do this lesson. And Adawan Ratuzah, I'll be out on the highways and hedges in either Davis or Sacramento with the Akim, Shaquat Ra'ah, and Gaji Kabar a little later on in the afternoon. All right, Abba Bar, Shalom to the remnant, Shalom to the elect. All right.